Hi guys, welcome back to Vintage Van Life. Now I'm still to date isolating, although by the time you guys see this video I won't be, but it's only tomorrow that I still have to isolate. And I've been cracking on quite a lot in the camper, and exciting times. I'm actually getting ready to put the first central roof slats in, which I've been waiting to do for a long time. I've also installed this door here, which is going to be my guitar cabinet, which is fun. So these pine planks, which are the tongue and groove ones, are actually surprisingly flexible, which is just as well because it's got quite a lot of bending to do because the roof is a funny shape. And one of the things, I'm actually going to line this up as central as possible. I need to do that in a minute. But the reason I'm starting in the middle is this one is actually going to have the LED interior lights fitted to it. So I'm going to need to drill some holes, but at the moment I don't have a hole saw. And this is also my last piece of wood, so I'm going to have to wait until I'm not isolating and I can go and get some more supplies. Well, I've screwed it on. I will need to think about the LED lights and how to fit those and put the wires in, but you can see it's taken the shape of the roof, which is good. And also, it's time for a cup of tea. Luckily, my friend that lives here actually has some hole saws, so I'm going to give it a go. Okay, so the LEDs are actually in place now. It kind of gives the illusion that I seem to know what I'm doing, but we won't know for sure until I actually switch them on, but it could be a little while before I do that. So I just got the wires hanging in their bundle, so at some point I'll be running them to a connector so they can be wired up to the leisure battery, of which I don't have yet. So today is my last day in isolation. Oh, at last. It's been interesting to say the least, but I have been productive. So let me show you two things that one have done and the other I am still doing. So one thing I have done is put in this old 1950s, 60s gas heater. I'm kind of in two minds whether or not it should have gone there or on this side, kind of underneath the cabinet there, but I've already drilled the holes now. So it's not actually plumbed in. This is going to be a job for another time. It's finding whatever size this is and putting on like an adapter and maybe running a rubber hose through here. But it's a nice bit of kit. I'll probably repaint it at some point because it's got a lot of wear and tear, but I need to make sure I use the correct paint. The other thing I've been working on today is the mounts for the fridge. So I'm kind of building like a framework here so the fridge can come back. And if you remember in a previous episode I mentioned the fridge will actually slide forwards and backwards. So I'm able to get the gas cylinder out when I need it. So yeah, just kind of making it up as I go along. Okay, so the fridge is kind of in place now on its mounts. It's still, I haven't built the whole sliding mechanism thing, but I can do that at a later stage. But at least now I can kind of see actually how far out the fridge is going to protrude. So it's right up against the back there, still allowing for ventilation. So I can see when I pull the bed out and everything, it's going to be clear, and I probably have to make some kind of curve or something. I don't know, just kind of fettling around with it really. Right, so today's job is doing some cladding. I've managed to get some more, so I'm just doing one at a time, working my way along before I do the other side. And it's a bit of a trick bending these up in place so they interlock with the last one whilst trying to screw it and hold it all together. Once you get the first screw in, it's not so bad, but there's definitely a knack to it, but it's coming along quite nicely. Right, so things are going quite well. I've done half of the cladding so far. It got really tough towards this end where the arch is a lot more curved really. And trying to get this, it's about 8 foot long piece of wood to bend all at once so the tongue and groove fits whilst trying to screw it up all on my own was not easy. These last two were particularly bad. But now I'm starting on the other side, and this is really the last of the singular long ones because all the other ones are a bit shorter because of the bathroom and everything, which should make it a little bit easier, I hope. things are really starting to take shape now with the ceiling. It's looking quite nice. One of the things that I learnt whilst doing this was, because of the curvature, the camera can't pick it up too well, but it's arching both that way and like that. So what I actually did was, I only put the screws in part way, so it's enough to hold it there, but without pulling the wood up, because it's very difficult to bend these by hand. So when they're a lot flatter, these slot in easier, and then once they're all in, tighten them up one at a time and you'll start to see the curvature of the roof form, which is what looks really nice with a wooden beamed roof like this. Yeah, pretty pleased with that actually. With various offcuts from doing the roof, I'm finding places where I can put them, including my guitar cupboard. So started doing the door for this. So similar to what I did with the toilet door at the bottom, it comes apart. So yes, that's looking quite neat, if I dare say so myself. So these LEDs, the wires are running underneath the cladding, and they are running all the way to the back by the cuckoo clock, and they come out down the end here. So these are the first two, so I've got plenty of distance, but the one that's furthest away from me at the moment, I had to drill a hole and run it through here because that's as far as it would reach. So it was just long enough, but it's on the other side of the what will be the storage area here, so you won't be able to see any wires. So we've got a nice little cutaway here in the shower where you can see where the layers go: wood, insulation, and then the roof itself. So you can kind of see or imagine what's underneath all of this, so yeah. Right, well thanks guys for watching this episode. I've made some really good progress on the camper. I'm going to do a little bit of exploring some of the local areas in my next episode, so I look forward to seeing you all then.